Hey guys, Philip Schadler here with my monthly real estate report. This is for July. Let's dive right into it and share my screen. I'm going to make this short as possible. First of all, we're going to talk about interest rates. They're around 6.7. They haven't changed much. Unfortunately, this is kind of plaguing the industry. We're really waiting desperately to have that lowered, but it looks like the chair is, well, the chair could be fired, but I don't think it would help. We need the interest rates really come down. I think even if it would come down to just 1 to 5.5, 5.5%, I think would ignite the market because of several reasons we're going to talk about here. And also, let me just show you real quick the rates from my friend Ron Glasser from McMortgage. It's around 6.742 for conventional fixed. So really hasn't changed much. And still, I think people see this as a high interest rate. About 50% of homeowners in the US own their home free and clear. So they are kind of also in a situation where if they want to upgrade, which we're going to talk about here, the golden handcuffs, they have a little bit of an issue because of the rates. Sellers, I would highly recommend to always keep your home in sellable condition because having a buyer take over your repairs can be costly. And what I mean by that is, I had a client recently that wants to sell a condo here in Los Angeles, and I asked her, what is the condition of the condo from 1 to 10? 10 being it means it needs nothing. It's turnkey. It's ready. There's nothing needs to be done. 9 would be like a paint job. 7 or 5 would be like a small remodel. 1 would be a complete remodel, right? So she said it's a 7. I said I highly recommend in this market to really get everything done and have it in sellable condition because buyer agents, if they're savvy, they will beat you up about certain things that need to be done. For example, let's say you need to have certain repairs done. This client said, well, I just want the buyer to take care of it. I don't want to fix anything. I just want the buyer to deal with that. That get costly, and that could be costly, in my opinion. That could be expensive. So I always keep my property in sellable condition. I'm not planning to sell it, but in case, you never know. Let's say the rates drop all of a sudden, you want to sell. You don't want to be stuck with having to do repairs first. It's going to be a delay, right? So I think that would be a wise way to go for most sellers. Definitely also do not overprice your property. This is very, very important. It's more of a mistake than ever before. Sellers need the guidance of an experienced agent more than ever. Help the client to solve the problem. So what do I mean by that? I can actually speak from experience because we just had a listing that is a trustee sale. So the person passed away, and it is as it is, right? It's an older property in 1981, and there was a carpet in there, and there was just no activity, in the market for a long time. It was also overpriced. I informed my seller that's overpriced. I love her dealer. She's a great woman, but she said, I want to try it anyway. So I did tell her that, the first 3 weeks is the honeymoon period, the first 3 or 4 weeks where most of the excitement happens with the property. The marketing is most effective. It's just the best time to really price it right. Actually, if you're smart and you really have a lot of courage, you price it slightly below the market value. So this particular property is now priced at $995,000. We were at 1.2 and 110. But what we did was we actually changed the flooring, and I want to show you this really quick here. Let's see where we have it here. So this is the property, and there was carpet in there before. And look at this. I mean, it's just a big difference to have all flooring throughout, the same flooring. It's beautiful. It's bright. It's just more modern. Not a lot of people want carpet, and you can put the carpet in or throw a throw rug onto it. But what I mean by guidance for an agent. So I told my seller that I would highly recommend consider taking the carpet out to make the property more attractive because of the slow market they were in. Now, of course, we always will have transactions, right? I mean, even if it's slow, some agents are complaining the market is slow. Of course, it's slower. It's probably one of the worst markets in a long time. However, there are always transactions happening. It doesn't matter how slow the market is. So that has something to keep in mind. But again, most important right now when buyers are hesitant, it's important to really spark up the property. I did some virtual staging here so people have an idea what the place would look like, And this is now listed at $995,000. And the reason why is because an ARV of this property would be somewhere around 1,249, 1.3, meaning the after repair value, meaning it's everything is done. It's a turnkey operation, turnkey property. And what I've noticed is that turnkey properties sell in 40, 50, 60 days, so they sell faster. I don't know if it's because of the fires, people don't want to get involved in a remodel. Maybe they can't find contractors. Maybe they're expensive. Maybe the tariffs has they cannot give an exact quote. So it could be a number of things. But once somebody would invest into this property here, the bathrooms need to be done. Kitchen, yeah, it's functional, but it could be upgraded, right? Bathroom. So now we have taken the remodel burden. We have lessened the remodel burden from this property, and the floor is already done. It looks beautiful in my opinion. So after repair value would be this 1.3. So this condominium, once it's all done, would be that. That's important to know because I think people need to realize this market where people are shy, because the only people that come forward now, buyers, I mean, are investors. Investors are looking for good deals, and we had the offers of 200,000 below. After being on the market for 160 days, we had offers at 200 and $300,000 below, right? Which is really ridiculous because the property is definitely worth around the 995 mark. And I've done a lot of research on that. Let's go back to our sheet here and share this screen. Also, today we're going to actually talk. We have a special guest today, Tess Cheng, health coach, and she's going to talk about in a few minutes, I'm going to bring her on. She's going to talk about how to deal with a busy lifestyle. So if you have any questions about nutritional or lifestyle, or if you have a very hectic and busy lifestyle and you're not keeping up with your proper nutrition or food, which really could influence your energy level and also your performance level in the business world, right? So here, lots of homeowners would like to upgrade or downgrade, but are wearing the golden handcuffs. So basically, from the 50% homeowners up here who still have a mortgage, about 30% of their mortgage rates are in the 2% range. So they cannot, they're basically held hostage. They cannot move forward or up or down, even on a downsize, because the interest rates is going to be at 6.7%. So it's just for them too high. So they're all waiting. The current inventory is about 1.5, and this is interesting because it has increased quite a bit. So existing inventory here right now is 1.54 for May 2025, but look how it has increased over the months. So January was just under a million, right, 960,000, and then it went up again because, again, there is less buyer activity. So it's like listings still flow in, but there's less buyer activity, and therefore it's like a bottleneck effect. And real quick on the market, let me see what I do have that. I did have that somewhere here. There we go, the market watch. So this is in the LA County, right? The MLS LA County. And you can see her clearly coming soon is 6. This is a 475 total transactions here or listings. New listings are 83, which is kind of low. Price change, look at that. Price change is 120 listings, right? So again, people are finding out if they overprice their property, they're going to sit on the market longer, and then they take it off. They come back on the market. Under contract is 44, pending 45, expired is fairly low, closed 51, canceled 37, and withdrawn. So yes, a lot of properties or listings are canceled because they overprice it. This is a big, big issue in my opinion. Yeah, if you overprice right now, it's really, you're going to feel the pain. You're going to feel the pain because, again, remember, the first 2 to 3 weeks when all the advertising is done, that's where all the excitement is there. This is where it should go slightly below, because buyers make a list and they look at maybe 10 properties, and this, if they see yours is overpriced, they're just going to toss it out. They're not even going to come look at it. And just really quickly, what I want to point out, I forgot to tell you, when we did our floor change, the last open house 2 days ago, 25 people, it was huge, it was packed. So really made a big difference, the fact that we actually had done a seller concession and improving a property, which gives the evidence that people are responding to that really, really well right now. Let's see what else we have here. Let me just share the screen again with you. Let's see here. Oh yes, foreign buyers. So here's interesting. Foreign buyers bought, let me see where we have them. We have them over here. International buyers purchased $56 billion worth of US homes from April 2024 to March 2025. So there were a lot of there's obviously transactions going on, and let's see who purchased these homes. So $56 billion volume is up 33.2% from 42 billion. We have the median price is around 475, 47% share who made all cash purchases. So this is interesting because these people who have cash right now can take advantage of the high interest rates because there's less buyers, so they have less competition, right? So they can just go in and snatch it up. Now let's see the top countries who purchased. China is big, China is 15%, Canada 14, so the Canadians want to come to America. Mexico, India, and United Kingdom, right? So these people want to come to America and bought houses here. And the top destination where they purchased a home is Florida, California, Texas, New York, and Arizona. So I thought this was an interesting fact from the National Association of Realtors, that many foreigners came in, and also the increase. This is a 33% increase from before. So that's quite staggering. Again, I believe that these people are just taking advantage because right now investors really have a field day because the market is slow. They go in low and they can get a good deal. We've had that happen with our property. We're staying tough. We don't have to do it like that, luckily. It's a trustee sale, and we know what the place is worth. I've done a lot of research, and again, the ARV value is around 1.2, 1.3. Anyway, so let me get my guest in here because I think we discussed everything we wanted to discuss, and I wanted to make this as short as possible. So let's see if we get Regina in here. Tess Cheng. Sorry, Tess Cheng. Are you there?
Yes, how are you, Philip?
Great, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm excited to have you.
Yeah,
Where are you in Miami now?
I am. Yes, it's
Okay,
nice and hot.
yeah, because you travel all the time. I think you were just in London, right, recently?
No, I'm actually going there next month.
Oh, okay, you're going. Okay, yeah, you travel all the time.
Yeah.
I see your posts on social media and so forth. So let's talk about, I don't know if people joining in, but when they hear this later, maybe they can have some ideas on how to deal with a busy career, because I'm sure a lot of people do shortcuts. They don't maybe get enough sleep. They don't drink enough water. They don't eat the right things. And of course, as you probably well know, that can influence your entire performance, your body, your system, right? So is there any tips that you can give people, what they should do? Because it can get quite stressful. I mean, the other day, I think I was up until 12:30 at night because I had to quickly take the pictures because we have a new listing. It had to go live the next day, so I didn't have a lot of sleep at all. And of course,
Yeah.
if I'm adding videos and editing videos at 12:30 or 1 a.m. in the morning, you can imagine I'm kind of hyped up, and now I have to go to sleep and get up again at 6:30 the next day. So it can be stressful. I try to drink my water and eat properly. But what do you recommend in that direction?
Well, first of all, I suggest that watch out what you're having during the day in terms of coffee, caffeine, your caffeine intake. Because a lot of people feel that, oh, but the caffeine will give me energy, so I'm just going to drink coffee all day. But then it's going to affect your sleep at night.
Mhm.
And,
So, okay, so let me ask you this though. So, but if you drink coffee in the morning, it shouldn't
yeah.
really affect the sleep. More like for me, it affects me if I drink it like at 3 in the afternoon and later,
Mm,
then it will affect
yes.
me, yeah. But
Yeah.
before, I just have like 2, 3 cups in the morning, and maybe I have a cup after lunch. That doesn't seem to be so bad for me. But you're saying no coffee?
No, 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 not at all. I'm saying, um, no, morning coffee is fine, but of course, people vary differently. Caffeine, you might be more sensitive to caffeine than some other
Right,
people, but it really depends on what works for you. See, if you can have coffee, you said if you have coffee just at lunchtime or something, you're fine.
right, right.
For some people, they feel that, they can only have coffee in the morning. So find out what works. But in general, my recommendation is not to have caffeine after 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, because coffee has a half-life of between 5 and 6 hours.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And then
tough.
some people say
Europeans love their coffee even at nighttime, right? But I think it changes when
they
you get.
do. They do. But then they say, oh, but I can have an espresso with dinner. I can go to sleep right away. the research shows that it does affect your architecture of sleep. So even
Hmm.
though you can sleep, your quality of sleep might not be as good as if you
Ah,
had your coffee earlier in the day.
interesting. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And sleep affects, your well-being, your mental health, decision-making process the next
Mhm.
day. You're more likely to be moody if you're sleep deprived. You don't make such good decisions.
Right.
And for people who are selling their homes, that's stressful. And you
Yeah.
don't, you want all your cognitive functions to be working, and you
100%.
want to have the patience.
Yep, yep. Because especially when you look at different properties, you have to try to keep track. I try to not
Mhm.
properties in one day because people lose track of it,
Yeah.
and you got to be really up on it and sharp, to remember everything or write it down.
Yes, exactly. And so I feel that, with sleep is important. And yes, with a lot of things going on, it might be difficult, you have anxiety, but then try and do other things such as meditation, deep
Hmm.
breathing work, even journaling. Sometimes when people find that it's really beneficial, just write down, your thoughts. This way you can process them, better. Or, if you're looking at all these different properties,
Hmm.
write them down at the end, how you feel about each one, what
Right.
the, what
It's
the,
interesting. It's
yeah.
interesting you bring up journaling because my former coach, he was big on he's big on journaling because I didn't think of it this way, but it also keeps your plan together of the day and the
Mm,
next day, so you have like a pattern, the system going, right? So it's
yeah.
interesting to also that helps with relaxation, I guess, or
It,
sleeping.
it does. Because when you have all these thoughts in your head, they
Hmm.
just go, it's just they seem so overwhelming because
Yeah.
they're just everywhere. But when you actually write them down, you look at them in writing and you feel, this actually, you can control what you do and it's not so out of hand.
Interesting. Hmm. And so, it's funny. I just watched a movie, and I think this would be the golden ticket. Somebody would invent that. That would be a billionaire. I watched this movie
Mm.
with Bruce Willis. It's called The Fifth Element.
Ah,
It's a science fiction movie. And when he
yes.
goes into the sleeping chamber, the stewardess just press the button, and he's out right away. That's the kind of thing you should need because then he would have a perfect 8 hour sleep. But
Yeah, exactly.
is there anything you recommend when you go to sleep and then you wake up again and you can go back to sleep? Like an hour later, you wake up again.
Yeah. One thing I would suggest not to do is to grab your phone
Hmm.
or device and start scrolling through, for messages. Because
Okay.
this way, you never know what the message is about. You don't want stress in the
Mm,
middle of the night when you wake. You don't want anything that can be stimulating or upsetting.
okay.
So don't go near the phone. And maybe try some breath work.
Okay.
And just help yourself, anything that will help you to relax.
So I was told once, I don't know if this is true. So I was told when that happens, you should actually get out a bit and just maybe have a sip of water and walk around a bit and then go back to bed rather than staying in bed since you cannot fall asleep anyway. Is that true or no?
I think it depends on the individual. I cannot personally do that. If I start getting up, um, then my heart rate goes up and
Mm,
I'm wide awake. And
okay.
that would take me hours to go back because by then I'm awake, I'm walking around, starting thinking about things.
Right.
I prefer just lie there and be more relaxed and maybe listen to some soothing music as well. But
Unless
the
Go ahead.
yes.
Unless you sleepwalk, unless you're sleepwalking, then you don't know anyway, and you're still asleep.
Exactly. Yeah. But try not to turn the lights on because
Oh, I
then
see.
this way it tells your brain it's daylight, it's time to get up, and it impedes melatonin, it actually disrupts melatonin production with the bright
When you
lights.
when you have the light on, that would probably be the same as if they turn on the TV, right? If they watch TV.
Oh,
So
yes. Yeah, definitely. Yes.
okay,
Um,
so and the other ones, so no TV, no light, not getting up. So the other ones that cannot have any success is going to toss and turn. That's
Maybe
probably
listen to some music, even maybe an audiobook.
okay. Okay, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, get your mind off it, or maybe meditational music.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rather than because if you're fully awake, you start thinking about the next day and you get stressed out, thinking I can't go back to sleep and now I'm going to be tired. Here we go now.
Okay.
You're thinking all these
And
problems you will have.
so now I'm probably going to make a prediction because I would imagine. So let's talk about what to eat throughout the day, and probably
Mhm.
not too many carbs, more protein and vegetables, right? That sounds good.
Yes, especially when you're running around between appointments.
Okay.
Try to make sure that you don't have too much sugar. Limit your sugar intake because this way you don't want to spike your blood sugar level.
Right. Okay.
Focus on protein. Have some healthy protein snacks with you.
Hmm.
Make sure you stay hydrated. Keep water in your car.
Okay.
I would even suggest if you know you're going to have appointments throughout the day, you're not going to have time. You plan your day so you know what's going to happen.
Right. Right. Right.
On that day. Perhaps you're going to only have half an hour in between appointments. You're not going to have time to go to a restaurant or go and grab something. So have something in your car.
Hmm.
I would even suggest a little cooler. I mean, at the moment it's very hot
Yeah.
with the summer.
It's funny you just bring that up because I was just going to mention that having water in the car can be a tricky thing because some people put plastic bottles in the car and then the
Yeah.
sun hits it, right? And I know
Yeah.
from the heat, the chemical from the plastic can get into the water.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
probably a tin can, would that be better, or a PBA free or whatever they call it, plastic?
Yes, or a filter water bottle, but make sure it's covered. If you leave it in the car.
Yeah,
But
but
then
in the car, let's say you're walking away and it's 110 degrees outside, it's gonna get hot either way. So even if you covered
yes,
it, right? So is a tin, was it like a tin bottle, would that be better, or
if you can get stainless steel or
right?
glass,
Okay, glass, that would be best. Yeah, okay, that makes
yes.
sense. Okay, okay.
And then keep in your cooler. You can get a little one. They,
Mhm.
they don't have to those big ones that people take to the beach, but you can have a little one, and then you can
That's
put
usually filled with my beer.
salad in.
Just kidding.
Champagne.
Just kidding.
But keep your healthy snacks in there so they stay nice and cool.
Right.
Things like nuts, almonds, they
Okay.
come in individual packets.
Hmm.
Um,
Of course,
nut
not
butter,
salted, right?
sorry.
Not salted.
Yes, raw, unsalted.
Right.
They taste good. When you're hungry, they taste good.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess if you're hungry, yes, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
So snacks
Nut
like that. Okay.
butter.
What?
This is nut butter, almond nut butter.
Nut butter. Okay. Is it a
Yes, that's
bar?
all it is. No sugar inside.
Okay.
You can get these individual ones on Amazon. They sell them this way. Yeah.
Do you have this on your website somewhere where people, in case somebody sees this afterwards and they want to check it out, do you have those things mentioned on your website where they can see it?
Not on my website, but they can contact me
Hmm.
and I let them know. But you can get this on Amazon.
Okay.
It's just almond nut butter.
Okay.
Um, and then, of course, canned fish,
Canned
canned
fish.
salmon. Yeah.
You mean to take with you during the day?
You have a can opener.
Okay.
It's all about preparations.
Yeah, I think it's probably better to prepare it at home first. If I have a can opener fish, it's going to go all over my car and it's going to be a nasty smell.
Yeah, you can do whatever way and, have a little cooler, like a little picnic you can have in between your appointments. This way
Okay.
you get to eat something healthy and fresh.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
Because
Now,
otherwise, the temptation, you can just run into somewhere and just grab a burger.
right.
So,
Well, I was going to say, so most people probably eat carbs all day long, right? Most, I don't
yes.
know, hamburger, bread, whatever it is, pancakes in the morning. So the question I'm having is, since that's probably unavoidable with some people, would it be better to have all the carbs in the morning and more protein in the evening, or does it not matter? Like, you know what I mean?
Um,
Because you have more activity in the morning, right, during the day.
you do. But the way to look at it is that you can only eat so much each time.
Hmm.
And it's very important to get enough protein every day.
Okay.
Most people don't actually eat enough protein because you're eating other things. So
Mhm.
in the morning, yes, the idea is that if you like carbs, have carbs early in the day, but then when you're having carbs, you're not going to get enough protein with
Mm.
that meal.
Okay.
And then you spend the rest of your day trying to catch up, and very often people don't.
How about pancake and bacon? Maybe the both, but it's too salty. Maybe sausage. I don't know. Or an egg, right? An egg.
Yeah, egg. But instead of having a whole pancake, how about just half?
They don't serve halves. Unfortunately, I guess I have to send it back the other half.
Yeah. Share with a friend.
Yeah. I like to share my pancakes, but okay, I'll try.
Yeah. And instead of, they might come in threes.
Okay.
Tell the server you only need one.
Okay.
And then you have room for the eggs and
Okay.
avocado.
Okay. Avocado. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, well, that makes sense. So, lots of liquid, lots of water, and protein and vegetables, and that should be, and try to get some sleep. So, that's pretty much your recommendation then. That would be the
Yes.
best. Would be.
Yes, it is. And and be mindful about what you do and take breaks. Even when you have a very busy day, for example, in between appointments, maybe go for a little walk, have some stretches, and do some deep breathing exercise in your car,
Right. Okay.
and just give your brain a break.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, in between appointments, usually on the phone or sending texts or emails. So it's going to be tough to fit in the breathing, but maybe I'll have to do it at the same time as I'm sending the text because we're on the phone all the time. I have a client that I have to see later on, then I have to see another one. I'm just driving from spot to spot, but I understand that makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else? Let me see. Let me just see if I can put your information in here. What's
Yeah.
where can people get a hold of you, first of all?
The best way is to go on my website,
Hmm.
and that way you can contact me, which is glowwithtest.com with one W. So it's GLOWITH.
Glow, okay, glowwithtest.com. Okay,
Yeah.
so just, is it now? Let's see. So is it on the screen now? Is that correct?
Just one W.
Oh, one W. Okay, let me
Yes.
fix that. That's why. Okay, so it would be this here, right? Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, great. Okay, so they can go to the website and get information from you, and then
Yes.
you take it from there. That sounds great.
Yes. And sign up for the newsletter, the monthly newsletters. This way you can get health tips every month,
Okay.
and some inspirations. And
Okay.
I'm also on social media. And again, the handle is the same, Glow with Tess,
Hmm.
on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram.
Okay. That sounds great. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, thank you so much for jumping on. I really appreciate your time. This has been great. It's always good tips for people to know because people always forget. They get busy. They don't think about it. This is kind of like a
Yeah.
reminder. It's like a sticky note on the mirror. Hey, eat healthy, drink your liquids, so you'll make it through the day better and have more energy and have a clearer focus. Because you have to have
Oh,
really
yes.
clear focus with your brain.
Very important. And things can get overwhelming easily.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on, Tess. I really appreciate it. I'll have you on
Thank
again
you.
in the future. And then in the meantime, all the best to you and have fun in London
Thank you
already.
for having me.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Until next time.
Yes.